December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
And so it began. Japan mercilessly attacked the United States of America. 2,403 people dead. 1,178 were wounded in the event as well.
Virtually the entire U.S. Pacific Fleet, 94 vessels, including 8 battleships, were concentrated there. Even though the forces at Pearl Harbor fought valiantly, we were unprepared.
We are going to be talking about how Pearl Harbor affected the outcome of World War II and how Pearl Harbor shortened the war's length by spurring America to join the war against Japan.
This relates to the NHD theme because America exchanged fire with Japan. America encountered Japan's attack, and Japan didn't explore the idea of destroying America's oil.
3 battleships capsized and 4 were damaged. This crippled the U.S. Pacific Fleet and took many, many American lives. It was a sad day, and America had to act on it. If not, we would look afraid to retaliate.
FDR asked Congress to declare war, and Congress responded. With only one vote against the proposition, Congress agreed, and we declared war against the Empire of Japan. This attack shortened the war because Pearl Harbor was executed as not to push the USA out of Hawaii, but just damage it. This was not done on purpose. If Japan had destroyed a few more battleships, the USA would have had to abandon Hawaii, prolonging the war. If Pearl Harbor had not happened, then the USA wouldn't have declared war on Japan, prolonging the war as well. This is why Winston Churchill found a ray of hope in this scenario. Winston Churchill now had the most powerful country actively on his side. Even though he hated the death of people, he found a way to save even more.
Another valuable resource currently, and at the time of Pearl Harbor, was and is oil. Millions of gallons were stored at Pearl Harbor when the attack was commenced, and Admiral Nagumo didn't commence the third wave of Pearl Harbor, which would have made the U.S. Pacific Fleet move back to California and destroyed millions of gallons of oil.
If the third wave had been initiated, World War II would have been prolonged by a very long period of time.
Even though Pearl Harbor took thousands of lives, it had a purpose.
Its purpose was to help end the war.
The U.S. had one of the most powerful armies in the world, and when they went into the war beside England and the other allies, there was a huge change in the tide of the war.
After the attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. was wounded, but they were able to work together to rebuild and come into the war.
Japan thought they had severely damaged the U.S., but they all came together, and later Japan had realized their mistake. The commander-in-chief of the Japanese Combined Fleet, Isoroku Yamamoto, said, "I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve."
With revenge in their minds, the U.S. declared war against Japan, and then the allies of Japan, Italy and Germany, declared war against the U.S. This brought them into World War II and clarifies that Pearl Harbor was the reason why the U.S. joined World War II.